Toy Tuesday. We're going to check out some cool memorabilia tonight. As usual, we are live, so we'll give everybody a few seconds to get their notifications so that they know we're ready to go tonight, and we'll get into tonight's Toy Tuesday. Most of the stuff tonight came from the Hutchinson, Kansas Swap Meet, which was actually 3 weeks ago now, or something like that. I don't know. Been a little while getting to it. We skipped last week. I was on the road headed to Tulsa for Meekum, Tulsa last week. So we went down last Tuesday, went to Auburn Court Duesenberg on Wednesday, did Meekum, Tulsa Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we are back tonight. We are on. We do have some cool stuff to check out. And as always, all kinds of neat little cool memorabilia. Mostly cans I got at the Hutch Swap Meet, but there's a few other surprises. Number one's on, wants to play trivia tonight. I don't have any trivia tonight there, number one, so you can Sunday, though. Well, no, you can't Sunday. We won't have it Sunday. James is here because we will be on Rocky Mountain Race Week, so we're going to bring you something live from the track probably. So it's going to be 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. You only got a week and a half left to wait. But anyway, like I said, mostly cans tonight, plus I got one really cool Oldsmobile piece that I picked up. Dennis is on with us. A buddy of mine that's been selling a lot of parts. He had this really cool Oldsmobile piece that I picked up from him. We're going to check it out as well tonight. So questions, comments, be sure to throw them up. We'll sure try to get to them as we're rolling through here. Billy's on with us. Good crowd jumping on again tonight, as always. Bill Wagaman's on. Nice video from Tulsa. Got to see Jess's car. Yeah, that's for sure. Peter from Oz is on with us. Eloy's here. So lots of familiar names. And once again, I'm still amazed you guys keep jumping back on, hanging out with me. We have a great time. No, we're not playing trivia tonight, number one. So I don't know what we're going to have for the next one, because we're going to have a couple of weeks worth of content to pick from next time. So might be a little bit trickier. Alan NC's on with us. Kevin's here. Norma's on. But anyway, like I said, we'll start digging into some of this stuff, checking some of this cool stuff out. I'll try to keep an eye out for comments. As things get scrolling, sometimes it's a little tough. I don't have the Hudson badge out here tonight, James. It's in the office. Tweedly D's here with us. We need a different badge for Tuesday nights, I think. So maybe we'll have to figure that out as well. Frank's here too. So anyway, that being said, let's get into the box of goodies from the Hutchinson Swap Meet. Kevin says it's Taco Tuesday for him. That's not always a bad plan either. So anyhow, let's go ahead and tilt this thing around here a little bit so we can start digging through the box. I'll try to keep up with comments as we're checking stuff out. We'll start off with a few cans, and we'll dig into the box and see what else we got going. Start off with another polishing cloth can. We've sold a few of these over the last several weeks. This is a Western's Deluxe Auto Polishing Cloth, wax treated. Has instructions on the back. It doesn't say Western Auto on the front, but it does on the back. Number one says, Margaret, the vets are drinking badge. I don't even know where I did with that box of stuff. I don't know if I took that stuff home or not. But this is Western Auto Company on the back. This one does still have the cloth in it. It's a little crusty and dusty, but it is still there. So neat can. This will take a little bit of polishing, but it will make a very nice can. You know, I haven't rubbed any of this out with some rubbing compound, but there's some good color there that I think this thing's going to look great with a little bit of polishing. A couple of grease cans that I picked up. Is the cat highway running? Yeah, there's cats everywhere. Big Job's on with us. Move, cat. There are cats everywhere. Co-op grease can, water pump grease. This is a 1 pound co-op can, red and white. Good condition. Made by the Consumer Cooperative Association, Kansas City, Missouri, just like some of the other co-op cans that we've had on over the past several weeks. We sold a fly spray can a couple weeks ago on Sunday night. So co-op company out of Kansas City, same thing on both sides. Co-op 1 pound grease can. Tweedledee, is Western Auto still around? No, Western Auto was bought out by Advance 10 or 15 years ago, something like that. So the 1 pound co-op grease can there. There's another cat. Let's check out another grease can. This one also looks great for its age. An old orange and white Phillips. This, once again, 1 pound grease can. This one says multi-purpose Fill Lube L2 grease on it. Yep, black cat siding. You're going to get a lot of cat sightings. There's actually 2 of those morons right there. Black one and a black and white one. John Anderson from San Antonio's on with us. Glad you made it. Original cap on that one. We still see the orange on that. Check these advantages. Resists effects of high temperatures. Pump easily at temperature as low as 0. Extremely stable at all times. Have good anti-corrosion properties. Can be used in all types of dispensing equipment. Product of Phillips Petroleum Company, Bartlesville, Oklahoma. So the old orange Phillips stuff is always great. This one, there again, pretty good condition. A little bit of polishing. Going to make a really nice can out of this. Some of the other cool stuff I got a box of miscellaneous stuff that is neat. Actually, yeah, let's get some of this stuff. And we got a license plate. We got a few more cans. We got a lot of neat stuff. So some other type of stuff, automotive-related stuff that you don't always think about. Bill says the black cat's good luck. So there's actually 2 black ones in here. But what's cool is I always love this old packaging. New old stock, original parts in the original packaging. Next, we're going to check out some bulbs. Tungsol auto lamp bulbs. And this one is, can't even tell. Oh, these are GM, actually. GM bulbs. Kevin says, you come across a lot of Oklahoma cans. Well, being in Kansas, we're pretty close to them. So a box of Tungsol auto bulbs, a box of GM bulbs. There's 6 bulbs in here, all in their little original wrappers. Automotive bulbs. Tungsol Lampworks, Newark, New Jersey. So I'm missing a couple of them, but original box. It's a little rough around the edges. The top's torn off. But it's still cool. These are still great display pieces. I mean, if you needed the bulbs, they're probably fine. But it's the display part that really takes you back. And it's really cool seeing all those new bulbs still in the box in the original Tungsol sleeves. This GM one has part of this end torn out of the box. Flanged fixed focus headlamp bulbs 1007, GM part number on that end of the box. Has bulbs across the top of the box. And then, of course, the GM on the other end. This box is almost full. We got some little plastic thing in here that obviously ain't supposed to be there, but looks like we're missing a couple bulbs out of here. These are still original sleeve. These are Tungsol also. So probably the same thing, just literally in a GM box. As a matter of fact, if we pull one out of the GM box and pull one out of the Tungsol box and look at the bottoms of them, they're pretty much the same thing. So, kind of cool. Tells a story. Tungsol bulbs, GM branded, GM part number, but almost the same thing as what's in the Tungsol box of bulbs. Some other cool accessories. I bought this whole box of miscellaneous stuff, actually. I'll show you what I'm pulling out of. I just picked up this box of all kinds of miscellaneous stuff, so we're going to dig through some more of this. That's where we're digging from. Next thing we got, a couple of these old air deflectors that actually went around like on the vent windows so you wouldn't get blasted with direct shots of air coming in your vent windows. This one's got a crack in it, but they're both still intact. So like I said, just all kinds of miscellaneous cool stuff in this box. Now, something else that's kind of cool, always there again, the packaging is as cool as anything. There are 3 of these. Probably will consider selling one of them maybe. All brand new, all original boxes. Autolite spark plugs. And yes, they have plugs in them. Original Autolites. Original boxes. Ignition engineered. See if we can get one open here without tearing the box up. Still in some original paper even, it looks like. There it is. Probably never been out of the box since it was put in there decades ago. Let's see what this says. Autolite spark plugs. Ignition engineered by Ignition Engineers. Save this wrapper. It's valuable. Ask your jobber's salesman. So there must have been some sort of an incentive to save these wrappers as you installed Autolite plugs for probably some sort of a giveaway or something. This is a very unique plug. Very, very tiny. I don't know if you can guys really see how the threads are so tiny on this thing. Actually, I'm not sure, but that really tiny thread pattern there Surprised the paper didn't fall apart. Yeah, that's for sure. But like I said, these things are all brand new. This almost looks like the thread size to the for the 39 Cadillac. We're getting ready to put the motor in Dad's 39 Cadillac. I went and ordered plugs for it, and they're about that kind. They're a real tiny, short, real narrow thread size. So I wonder if those are probably the plugs we needed for that Cadillac that I just ordered a set of for that 39 Cadillac with the old Cadillac flathead V8 in it. So we're going to wrap this thing back up, tuck her back in the original box. And here we go into the back, into the box. We still got paperwork in here as well. The inside story of the Autolite resistor spark plug. Here's what it takes, questions and answers. So all kinds of specifications, data. The staples are falling out of this one, so it's kind of falling apart, but it is still here. So what's the number on the plug, says Bill. This plug was a P4 or an R4? P4, I believe. I think the dash is a separate piece. I think they're P4s. So anyway, got a couple of boxes of those, which are always great pieces. And like I said, just neat when you got the original box, original wrapper, original propaganda, paperwork inside, the whole shooting match, all right there in one. Actually, some of these are kind of mixed up, though, because we've got PR4, PR6, and ARL5 on the boxes. So some of these plugs are probably not in the original box that they were sold in. Still cool, still great display pieces. Like I said, don't know if you want to use them or not. I'm sure they probably be fine. But regardless, you can't not put that on a shelf and say that looks pretty darn cool. The bottom of these boxes, Autolite spark plugs are used as original equipment by America's leading manufacturers of passenger cars, trucks, tractors, industrial, and marine engines. The Electric Autolite Company, Toledo, Ohio. Let's see what else we got in this box. Oh, how about another box of plugs? ACs this time. Brand new in the box. Great plugs. All original AC box. AC spark plugs, Flint, Michigan. Whoops, the top's all loose on that one. It fell right off. But boxes on these are great. These are not all the same. This is kind of a mixture the way it looks. Yep, there's actually a couple of different types of boxes in here. So we'll look at both of them. Starting off with the one that kind of matches the top of the box, the old orange AC spark plug. Important check gap. Pretty much a basic deal. 43 COM. Brian's a fan of the AC stuff. I am too. So that's a good looking box there. Kind of matches the big box. Now this other set of, not set, there's just 3 or 4 of these other ones in here. These are great AC boxes. AC fire ring spark plugs. Brandon's here with us. Super cool graphics on these with the fire ring on the spark plug. M8 spark plug, important check gaps. AC plugs, Flint, Michigan. So super cool pieces there as well. Like I said, kind of a mixture in that AC box. Pick a few things up here. So we got a few more cool things we definitely want to look at tonight. But I need to make a little bit of room here. So bear with me for a second. Let's check out a license plate. This is something I also picked up at the Hutch Swap Meet. Yeah, the artwork on the box is great, Tweedledee. Number one, look at all the future ephemera envelope content for the surprise bags. Yeah, but there's not really anything in there that doesn't really go with the parts, so... This is kind of different. Illinois 1944 license plate. We do a lot of Kansas plates on here, obviously. But I always try to pick up some different ones if they look kind of cool. Now, this one looks pretty rough, pretty weathered. A lot of flaking on it, things like that. We look at it from the side. You can see it's kind of warped, things like that. The back, you can see a big divot in it. But this is kind of weird. See, obviously 1944. This isn't the only state that did this. I've got another, I think Iowa may have done it. I've got one other state that has this as well. But here's something kind of weird. We've got this metal oil can right here, right? Nothing's tinging. Cardboard license plates. Obviously to save metal for the war effort. If you can see, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see the graining in the back of this plate, but it is a heavy type of cardboard. You can see where that corner's torn out of it. Illinois 1944 cardboard license plate. So like I said, I think Iowa had these. I think in Iowa was one other one I've got. I don't know. I know I've got at least one other state that did do these heavy cardboard tags during wartime. So I thought this was a great piece to add to the collection. There again, something I didn't know. I didn't realize, you know, I knew I had the one state that did, but I didn't know Illinois did it as well. License plates made from soybeans is what Brandon says. So some sort of a soybean-based fiber material that they made these out of. Obviously, conserving as much metal as possible for the war effort. Couple more cans, and then we're going to check out this super cool Oldsmobile piece. Next can we've got, I actually got two of these. I don't know if I'm going to sell one or keep them both because they're so great. Texaco Super Motor Detergent. These are smaller cans, 15 fluid ounces. They're smaller than a quart. Great cans, great color. Love the Texaco star. The green, the red, and the white on them. Excellent condition. I have not even touched these. Have not polished them out. Haven't even wiped the dirt off the top of them. They're both full, new old stock, sealed cans. Cleans as it powers your engine. Great Texaco cans. And I don't think I had these either. Texaco Super Motor Detergent. Prevents sticking valve lifters, restores full engine power, protects against rust, removes sludge and varnish deposits, ensures a clean engine, and reduces wear to a minimum. I think this is probably a date on this one. I don't know if you can see it, 11 of 63. And these are both dated 11 of 63, so I'm guessing these are probably 1963 era cans. So these things are almost 60 years old and looking great for being 60 years old. That's for darn sure. So one more can, and then we're going to get to the Oldsmobile piece. This can, I bought a lot of these cans to get this can. This next can is one I didn't have. I started off, what oil weight were these? It doesn't say. It just says Super Motor Detergent, so it was some sort of an additive is what these were. But this can here, when I first started buying cans and signs, you know, years ago, when I didn't have any money and bought a few little things here and there, you know, one of my first pump plates was one of these. You know, just was getting bits and pieces. You know, this is back 30 years ago when I was a teenager trying to look for a couple cool things. My big thing was always mobile. I loved the Pegasus, which it's pretty tough to not love the Pegasus. I did finally get that girl about 5 or 6 years ago and was super excited to have an actual Peggy in my shop because those are amazing pieces. I bought about 4 or 5 of these cans in one deal because I wanted this one particular can because I didn't have it, I hadn't seen it, but it's a super, super great mobile can. So I was really excited about it, and it's a very unique can, and it's really different. It's in decent condition, not perfect, but I was really excited about it. Kevin's a fan of the Pegasus too, so here she is, the Mobile Grease UW can. Not even sure what this is for, didn't really care, because it was a super cool mobile can that I hadn't seen and did not own. So I had to own it. Mobile Grease UW, a waterproof lubricant for outboard engine underwater gears. So this was a marine type deal. Obviously beautiful with the big Pegasus on it. Decent colors. It is, you can see where it's got some staining and stuff on it. I don't know how much of that's going to polish out. Mike from New Waverly, Texas is on with us. But what is so cool, it says net contents 2 pounds. So this was a 2-pound can. It's very tall and slender actually. And I don't have a tape measure here. I was going to give you a measurement on it, but it's a very tall, slender can. But the spout on this thing is super cool. Check this thing out. This actually pivots. And then the top, it actually, you can see the slot on it for like a straight tip screwdriver actually is threaded and unscrews. And it just threads right on in there. So cool piece. Like I said, I didn't have one. Don't recall seeing one. If I did see one, it was back in the time when I didn't have, couldn't afford to buy one, even if I did find one. But I really thought it was a super great piece and was really excited to add that to the collection. So a few of these other ones I may end up selling if they're duplicates, the grease cans, the polishing cloth, things like that, because I bought it all in one pile. But that was what I was after. Brian's never seen it before either, so said lube by the pound makes sense, yeah. But, well, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Kevin digs it, too. Now I don't feel as bad. I hate to bring something and say, man, this is cool. Never seen one. Had to buy it. Steve's on with us again. He's local to us. He was at the Hutch Swap Meet that day, too, so he probably seen some of this stuff. But this thing, like I said, I feel really bad. I was like, man, I found something really cool I've never seen before. And all you guys say, yeah, I've seen about a dozen of them last week. So I'm glad some of you guys haven't seen this before either, because I was pretty jacked up about it. So that was the can I was most excited about, even though I do like the Texacos as well, but that was the one I was most excited about. So a couple more things we want to check out. Dan digs it, says it's cool and rare also. Like I said, I assume it is because I hadn't seen it, but I didn't care because I wanted it for me. So it's one I'm going to keep. Great can. Was super excited about it. Couple other things we want to check out. I got one more piece actually from the Lawrence Swap Meet I keep forgetting to dig out, and I had it laying down here. I just grabbed that, and then we got a really cool Oldsmobile piece to check out. So one more thing from the Lawrence Swap Meet that I keep forgetting to show you. We did the signs, we did the cans, we did the toys, but we hadn't done this piece yet, so we're going to check it out now. Old School's here with us. We got a box here. Well, it looks like a parts book, right? Mopar parts book, still in the box. So I thought this was kind of a cool piece. So we'll dump it out here. Mopar Passenger Car Parts List, Chrysler Motor Parts Corporation. Nice looking piece, great condition for its age. And it's drink glasses. This was an award of, some Master Parts Award 1995 is what's on this glass. I really like this stuff personally. Obviously, this is a little bit before I got to Chrysler. I started in 97. Old School said he looked at a Cobra replica today, made a video on it. So, obviously, I started with Chrysler in 97, so I'm a big fan of this era of Mopar stuff, even though this is a little bit before I started. But I still like this stuff. You say, oh, 95, that's not that old. 1995 was almost 30 years ago. So actually, it is starting to get old. Big Job digs it. Kevin said, it's nice parts, yeah. So there again, I thought it was a great piece. I was excited to add it to my collection. I still got a lot of these, not this glass set, but a lot of awards. I got a clock and there were several other awards, some tool awards, things that from when I was with Chrysler. So I do dig this stuff, just like the signs that we looked at. A couple of weeks ago, the Mopar Express Loop, things like that, stuff from the 90s. I am absolutely not opposed to buying any of this stuff. Now, Old School says 95 feels like last week. When you look back and you say 90s, that ain't old, who wants that crap, who cares? Well, here's how I see it. In the 90s, Chrysler was on fire. They had some of the best products in the world. The Dodge Ram, the new Ram came out in 94. The thing took the pickup world by storm. The Cummins came out in 89 in a pickup. Revolutionized the heavy-duty pickup market. The new pickup in 94, the Viper, the Prowler, the LH platforms, the Sebring convertibles. And on top, the 300 came back. Number one graduated in 94. I graduated in 93, so we're not too far off. The Dodge Neon, did you say the Dodge Neon? The Dodge Neon, they had all kinds of Dodge Neon little race cars, little sports car, turned them into little track cars. So, so much stuff there that I personally think Chrysler stuff from the 90s, probably not bad property. And of course, me, obviously being a Viper guy and working for Chrysler starting in 97, I think it's cool. So I'll take any of it I can get my hands on. When you look back in history, you look at what was popular in a certain window, what becomes collectible 30, 40 years down the road. Jeep Cherokee, another great point, Old School. The Grand Cherokee came out in 93. Once again, revolutionized the sport utility market. That's right, the ACR, the Neon ACR American Club Racer, where they turned them into little track cars, the Intrepid, part of the LH platform. So much stuff happening with Chrysler in the 90s. Obviously, with my Viper's a 99, so I'll take anything of that era, even including my banners that I bought out of Conner Avenue assembly from the Viper plant that hang above my Viper. So I've got, my Viper's black, and I got two black banners, two Gen 2 Viper black banners off that auction when they sold everything out of Conner Avenue Assembly. So the two black banners hanging above my black Viper came out of the Viper assembly plant. So that type of stuff, I love it. The Mopar Express loop from that era, the sign we looked at a couple weeks ago, the menu board from the service department with the definitely 90s graphics on them. Love all that stuff. So I think this stuff is cool. I think any of this stuff from this era is cool. And there again, I think it's great stuff. So I'm excited to add that type of stuff to my collection. Even though a lot of people are going to look at it and say, that ain't old, who cares? Well, I do. I think it's cool stuff. One more piece, I think. Did we get through everything? I think so. One more piece. Yeah, that's right. Chrysler doesn't make a lot of cars now. That's for sure. Everything's been, transitioned to crossovers, SUVs, and of course pickups. And, and then, Dodge still has the Challenger and the Charger. And, and all that stuff's going to be changing in the near future. But, and obviously I grew up on GM and I really had no problem going to work for Chrysler in the late 90s because of all the stuff that was going on with them. In fact, I've got most of the Chrysler cars from that era. Kevin, didn't Maserati come out with the Chrysler? The Chrysler TC was a Maserati touched up LeBaron convertible. Dan says all things in that era is getting hot, and there's some truth to that too. A lot of stuff is. Viper market is definitely coming on strong. Viper stuff has gotten really, really strong lately. But I think we've talked about this. I've got a Durango in that body style. I've got a Sebring LXI convertible. I've still got my 02 Cummins that I ordered new. I've got my Viper. So, I've got a lot of the stuff from that era that, I remember back when I worked for Chrysler. I just bought the vehicles and kept them. Obviously, the 02 Cummins, I ordered that new. I hauled with that truck for a lot of years and still have it sitting in the shop. Haven't driven it in 3.5 years, but still got it. So, and that's right, the Chrysler Cirrus, the Dodge Stratus, those little cars were good little runaround cars for the era. So a lot of good stuff happened in the 90s with Chrysler, so I'm definitely excited about that stuff. But let's back it up a few decades to another piece of super cool showroom memorabilia. Now, unfortunately, this kit is not complete, but it's such a great piece I had to buy it. So let's check this out as well. The Oldsmobile Rocket Engine Cars 3-dimensional theater. Original box. See the Oldsmobile on it. Clasps on the front, but that's about all it says on the box. But we open this up, and here's what you have. Basically a little Viewmaster. Stereo Realist Viewer instructions still in here. Using the viewer. No, number one, I do not have a Dodge Stealth. That's one thing I don't have. The Stealth was actually just about done with by the time I went to work for them. I do think they're cool. I would buy one if I could come up with a decent deal on one, but not necessarily top of my priority list because I didn't really deal with Stealths when I worked for Chrysler. Now, unfortunately, all these little slots here should be filled with cards, but they're empty. We only have one card, actually, and it is in the viewer. So if we look at this from the front, it does look similar to a Viewmaster. That's right, brand or Mitsubishi 3000 GT, the same car. It has the Realist button right here, and this actually pushes in. I think that let the light in, if I remember correctly. One card in here. They slid right in here. Very fancy cards. Heavy duty. This one, Oldsmobile Rocket Engine Cars, the 1951 98 Deluxe Holiday Coupe. These are like slides, like heavy glass slides with a little metal frame. Like I said, I wish there were more of them here. However, there is not. But it is a great piece. You can kind of see, if I get my finger out of the way, maybe you can kind of see the Oldsmobile in there. Bill says, have fun on Racebook. We'll see you Friday. Perfect. So, All I want for Christmas is an Olds Viewmaster. That's right, old school. The Plymouth Prowler was a great car. So basically, the way I understand this is slide this in here. You look in here, and then, let's see, big job. Got to go, got to jump off. Chrysler Java was a concept. Shopcat's here. So you looked in here, and I think it's not really lighting up, so I don't know if there's something out of whack. Oh, there's a little adjustment screw here. There's a little adjustment here. There we can see it. I can see the Oldsmobile there, but I bet you can't. But it's in there. So kind of a cool little piece. Button pushes in there. Adjustment right there. Adjustment right there. No, they're not X-ray glasses. They're just Oldsmobile glasses where you can get a good look at. I assume, they probably had, you got to remember back in 1951, dealerships were not like we think of today, where they have 20, 30, 40 cars on the lot at a small dealer, and a big dealer could have several hundred cars on the lot. Back then, a lot of dealerships were mom and pop dealerships. They may have had 3 or 4 new cars in stock. Some of them may only had 1 new car in stock. So they could get out the realist viewer with all these, in theory, slides of different Oldsmobiles, different body styles, different colors, put the slides into the Viewmaster, and take a look at the various colors and body styles of the 1951 Oldsmobiles. So, kind of a neat piece. That's cool. Even slides back and forth there. So, there again, I wish we had more slides with it, but we don't. So happy with what I've got, especially maybe kids' toys giving out, especially in the original case. So anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. All kinds of little miscellaneous stuff. Next Tuesday, there again, we'll be on the road. So next Tuesday, we'll probably have to skip again. We'll probably be 2 weeks before we're back on a Toy Tuesday. Steve says he needs one of those for Pontiac, yeah. So we'll probably look at 2 weeks on our next Toy Tuesday because we will be on Rocky Mountain Race Week next week. Definitely hope to see some of you out on that. And like I said, absolutely stop by and say hi if you do make it to any of the tracks next week. Great Bend, Kearney, Bandimere, Pueblo. How's the weather? Hot? Yep, it's hot. It was around 100 today. Actually, when I just went over to check the thermostat, because there's a little clock on it to see if it was 7 o'clock yet, it's 97 in here right now. So, but Pete's here. But it's 97 in the shop right now where I'm at. So I'm going to go get in the office where I got the air conditioner on and cool off a bit. But Norman says, great stuff. Good luck with the races. Thanks. Appreciate that. Hope everybody enjoyed tonight. Like I said, we had kind of a mismatch of stuff. Sebastian made it too. We're right at the end, but you caught the end. What else is coming up in 2 weeks? I've got a whole big cool box of stuff from the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company. Got a bunch of cans there, actually. Doug got a bunch of extra cans he said he was thinking about getting rid of, so I bought all those cans. Plus, I got some awesome epic pieces from Auburn Cord Duesenberg. There will probably be a few things that get sold. A lot of it I'm going to keep. A lot of it, there again, that stuff isn't cheap to pick some of that stuff up, but it is so great. Number one, was that a showroom item? I'm sure it was a showroom item. And they may have lent it to customers if they needed to take it home to let their spouse look at it or something. That may have been why it was in the handy-dandy little carrying case, to let somebody take it home and check it out. But for this wasn't, a piece that would have been in the showroom for the salesman to assist customers with. So Norman says, hit the like button, everybody. I think I missed a few comments that were popping up there. Everybody digged it tonight. Brandon says 118 out and 130 in his truck today. That's brutal. Sebastian says, if I have a Duesenberg, you'll definitely bid on it. No, I don't have a Duesenberg, so we don't have to worry about that. But anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. I'm going to get ready to wrap up. I'll keep an eye out for a few more minutes for comments, things like that. Like I told you guys Sunday night, I'll post the video tomorrow night. Friday night, you guys all want to see the Rocky Mountain Race Week Friday night block party, the kickoff party in downtown Great Bend on Friday night. We're going to be doing a live tomorrow night on that. Me, Adam Dory, Chad Reynolds from Bank Shift. We're going to do a live and get everybody up to speed on the downtown block party Friday night. I won't be on my channels, but you can definitely jump on the Bank Shift channel tomorrow night at 7 Central. and jump in on that chat if you want to know what's going on with that. It's going to be a fun week. Absolutely cannot wait to see all of our friends. That's what's so great about Race Week is the people and the friends that we have on it. So excited about that as well. So anyway, Kevin says Dodge Eagle came out in the 90s. Actually, Eagle in the 90s was its own brand. It wasn't a Dodge Eagle. Eagle was a standalone brand. When they bought AMC, that's right, Kevin, we're talking about Auburn Core, Duesenberg, and Broken Arrow. Good friends with Doug, brought a whole big cool box of stuff back. Did a bunch of videos while I was there with Doug. We got a lot of great stuff coming from Auburn Core, Duesenberg, and Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. But, so anyway, Pete says, thanks for taking us long. We're going to be doing that live tomorrow night. We'll be doing the block party Friday night. Any Allstate stuff? Nope, no Allstate stuff. Yep, the cats have water. I just filled all their water bowls today, so they should be good to go on that as well. But like I said, it's going to be a fun week. Kevin actually grew up about 4 blocks from there. So we're going to be bringing you a lot of that stuff. But Eagle was 88. The Eagle Premier, Eagle was its own brand. Real quickly, after when Chrysler bought AMC to get Jeep. I mean, that's not a secret. However, when they bought it, the Premier was just about done. Part of the agreement was the Premier had to go into production. They branded it as the Eagle. The Eagle was a standalone brand with Jeep dealers in the late 80s, early 90s. There was an LH platform-based Eagle called the Vision that was built until 1997. When the LH platform was revised for the 1998 model year, the Eagle Vision went away. The only cars the Eagle had in the mid-90s was the Talon, which was Mitsubishi-based, and the Vision, which was the LH platform car. It was Renault-based and formed the base for the Intrepid. Yeah, I think the Premier was Renault-based, that's right. Now, when the Eagle Premier, or no, excuse me, the Eagle Vision, so Chrysler owns the rights to Hudson and Nash. I don't know if they still do or not. I don't know how all that went. Yeah, that's right, number one. Eagle did have that super weird minivan too, and I think that was a Mitsubishi as well, a rebranded Mitsubishi. But the last AMC produced car was the LH platform Vision. When the LH platform was revamped for 98, it went away. However, there was designs in process for a new LH platform Vision when that was revised in 98. The car never got built, but it was in process of designing a new platform, a new Vision for the new platform. How do I know that? I've got the drawing. I have the actual artist's rendering of what would have been the next generation Eagle Vision on the LH platform that got on tonight. Brian says couldn't get on tonight. Maybe so. Most people were still on, so hopefully it was just you, Brian. Everybody else seems to be on okay. But there was a Vision being designed for the new LH platform in 98, but didn't come out. When they had the Viper Prowler auction out of Conner Avenue Assembly, there was an actual sketch, a hand-drawn watercolor that is signed by the artist, dated, I think, 1995, which would have been when they were planning the new LH platform cars to come out in 98. And I've got that artist's rendering, that artist's hand-drawn watercolored rendering for what would have still been the next version of an AMC car. So it's probably one of the last sketches for any car that would have been branded AMC, is what I'm thinking. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know if that's true or not, but it is definitely an Eagle sketch. It's got the Eagle badge right on the front of it, done in 95, which would have been when that next generation LH platform was being designed. Number one Eagle Talon was a pocket rocket for a kid with a paycheck. I actually drove one for a couple months when I was assigned to some dealerships up in Minneapolis. I was working up in Minneapolis. The zone office there actually had an Eagle Talon, and I got that for a company car while I was up in Minneapolis for a couple of months right after I started. So Tweedledee missed all the stuff in the 90s because he was in the Navy. Well, that's a pretty good excuse to miss it. So anyway, that's a little bit of worthless knowledge about that era of Chrysler that I know, from my personal experience. Mel RNFL, love listening to these, learn something new each time. We all learn something new. I learn a lot from you guys too. So it's kind of crazy to think that the 90s are 30 years old, but that's where we're at now. And it is, you know, happening. That's what's going on. That's the reality of it. Time marches on. I personally have a lot of good memories from that stuff. I'm looking for the stuff now that I want. AMC drew up a Hornet-based Jeep Cowboy and an El Camino fighter. Yeah, the AMC had a lot of good ideas, did a lot of things. But that one, like I said, I don't know. Maybe I have the last piece of AMC car history known to man. Who knows? Maybe there's 1,000 of them. I don't know. But I know this is an original hand-done watercolor signed by the artist from 1995 of a new Eagle car that never came to fruition. So pretty excited about that. If you can't tell, I kind of geek out on stupid stuff like that. So anyway, that's what I've got for tonight, everybody. I'll keep an eye out for a few more seconds here. If anybody's got any other questions or comments they want to throw in there before we wrap this thing up. I know you guys need to get going. I got stuff to do. X-Ray Dean knows nothing about 90s Mopar stuff. So I was there, so I know a little bit of it. But in fact, when we interviewed, another just a quick tidbit, when we interviewed in April or May of 97, Brian has to go back and watch everything. Yeah. We interviewed in end of April of 97. We flew up to Auburn Hills for executive interviews. And they gave us a great tour. In fact, anybody that's ever seen the world headquarters, CTC, the Chrysler Technology Center in Auburn Hills, is a big, huge Pentastar up on the top floor. I actually have looked out that window, believe it or not. But when they did those executive interviews, they were walking some of us through the labs. Well, me and a couple of my buddies, who obviously we were auto tech guys, we knew that show the Eagle watercolor on Sunday. Well, we'll have to do it in a couple of Sundays, number one, because we won't be on this week. Remind me in a week and a half, because I think it's actually still in the office. I think I got it tucked back up on top of a shelf. So remind me, number one, and we'll absolutely get that out here in about a week and a half. But we're walking through one of these labs. There's a whole row of engines sitting here along the wall, and they were all overhead cam engines. And we knew at that point that in April of 1997, Chrysler was not producing overhead cam V8s. So me and my buddy are like, hey, what are those? What are those right there? And they're like, let's keep walking. So that's what they told us. We kept walking. That ended up being what we now know was the 4.7 liter overhead cam V8s. So that's the cool kind of stuff that I remember, but that's because I geek out on dumb stuff like that. So Twithy D's still a Viper fan as well. Pete needing a 78 N1 Camaro with T-tops and minimal bodywork. I've got one, but it's rough, but it is a decent body with T-tops. So I do have that. Glenn made it just barely. We're about ready to wrap this one up. So anyway, with that, I'm going to bail off of here. Like I said, I'll keep an eye out for more comments. I keep saying that. We keep getting more comments, so I don't want to cut anybody off. But I'm going to sign off. We'll get a new video up tomorrow night. We'll bring you something live for the Friday night block party for the Rocky Mountain Race Week kickoff. Friday night, Great Bend, Kansas. Still needs the F-body tour. Yeah, the F-body tour would be big because I got F-body stashed everywhere. I've got 6 shops. And 2 of them don't have F-bodies in them. I got F-body stuffed everywhere, literally. So, anyhow, Randy got stuck working, missed it. That's all right. You can go back and catch us. Tweedledee says hit the like button. So, tomorrow night we'll post a video. Friday night block party, Rocky Mountain Race Week kickoff. Sunday night we'll try to bring you something quick live from the track Sunday night. Can't promise that, but I will absolutely try to jump on with you guys just for a few minutes, if nothing else, Sunday night. May not be dead on 7 o'clock Central, so kind of just pay attention. And whenever I get a break kind of in that window, we'll try to jump on for a few minutes, let you know how things are going. Next week will probably just be content from Rocky Mountain Race Week as we're going along, whatever I can put together, whatever I can get posted. We may throw a few lives in here and there as we're going, but stay tuned. We'll have all kinds of cool Rocky Mountain Race Week coverage next week. And a week from Sunday night, we will be back on a normal schedule. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you swinging by, hanging out for a while tonight. Actually, hanging out for quite a while tonight. Had a lot of cool stuff to check out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for being here. We will see you soon from Rocky Mountain Race Week coming up starting this weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody.